Go and enjoy the ride.
¡Bienvenidos a México!
Forza Horizon 5 is a stunning achievement, both in terms of its technical and gameplay design. The game is set in Mexico and is touted to feature the biggest map in the series yet. The visuals on display look absolutely breathtaking, thanks to the use of photogrammetry. Featuring seamless single-player and multiplayer integration, Forza Horizon 5 has set a new graphical benchmark for open-world racers. So what is running under the hood? Let's begin with the performance.
There's a devil on the runway! Devil on the runway!
We got the chance to analyze the game's performance on both PC and Xbox Series X. Our PC includes an AMD Ryzen 9 5900X, 32GB of memory, and an RTX 3080 Ti. We ran the game on an SSD. This is above and beyond the ideal specifications the developer recommends. Just like Forza Horizon 4, the PC version is packed with a ton of graphical options like MSAA, world car level of detail, and environmental texture quality. Furthermore, there is also an in-game performance benchmarking tool which is ideal if you want to test the game before you jump into the experience. We ran the game on extreme settings at 4K resolution, and for the most part, the game ran at a locked 60 frames per second. However, there was just a single sequence in our test footage where the game dropped down to the higher 40s to mid-50s. This happened in an area where there was a lot of foliage and water effects. Overall, we're deeply impressed with the PC version, and if you have the hardware to run this game at maximum graphical settings, it truly can be a mind-blowing experience. On the Xbox Series X's front, things are a bit more interesting. Obviously, the Xbox Series X is not as powerful compared to our PC build, but the console offers multiple graphical options for its players. Forza Horizon 5 on the Xbox Series X features two graphical settings: Quality Mode, which targets a full native 4K resolution at 30 frames per second, and a Performance Mode, which targets 60 frames per second. We analyzed the Xbox Series X version's performance by taking some sample scenes from the game and running it through TR-Drop, an open-source software. Note that this tool gives us a mere demonstration of the game's performance, because an exact one-to-one representation of performance can only be provided by the developers themselves, since they have access to a vast array of tools and profilers. And the results are simply excellent. Quality Mode ensures the game runs at a full native 4K presentation, and at an almost locked 30 frames per second. Performance Mode, too, runs at an almost locked 60 frames per second. Shockingly, the resolution in this mode remains at 4K the majority of the time, with minimal drops in resolution. This fact alone makes Performance Mode the best possible way to play Forza Horizon 5 on the Xbox Series X. However, for the eagle eye, there are some minor differences in both modes. It seems that Quality Mode pushes out more environmental detail compared to the Performance Mode, but you really need to zoom in to actually catch the difference. Given that you will be zooming around at 100 miles an hour most of the time, these differences hardly matter at the end of the day. Now that we have spoken about the game's performance, let's talk about the various graphical facets of Forza Horizon 5. The sky. Playground Games did a lot of work to make the skies in Forza Horizon 4 look gorgeous and varied, offering some 300 presets. That number has gone up in Forza Horizon 5 with over 2,000 sky presets, offering a varied experience regardless of the time of day and weather. Much like in previous titles, the development team used a rig of 3 high-resolution cameras that captures photos every 30 seconds, and combines them with 12,000 images of the sky. The total number of data amounted to 75 terabytes, with over 400 hours of sky photos being captured. The weather, environment, and cars. Playground Games' long-running series has ventured to Mexico this time around, and while it is the biggest Horizon ever, the developer was keen on changing things up. Mexico is a country that has huge elevation changes, so it has different seasonality in different regions, which the game has represented impeccably. So, while rain in Edinburgh may be present everywhere else in Forza Horizon 4, Forza Horizon 5 has different weather conditions in different areas. That means snow and blizzards on top of the game's volcano while the coast is super hot. And did we mention rain? Races in wet conditions look gorgeous. Along with a unique weather system, there are 11 unique biomes in total, ranging from jungles and canyons to coasts. Each biome has its own unique sights and sounds. For instance, the canyon consists of rock formations with the sound of vehicles echoing throughout, while the tropical coast has a range of palm trees and sandy beaches while hosting stormy weather. The arid hills offer wide spaces across plains, and rolling hills with a lake that actually dries up in winter, opening up new passages and areas. The environments look absolutely stunning with high-resolution textures employed in abundance, giving a rather realistic look to them. Thanks to an excellent anisotropic texture filtering solution, the quality of in-game objects and environments all look stunning. Credit must also be given to the game's lighting tech, which has managed to capture the various weather effects of Mexico in stunning detail. Forza Horizon is obviously all about the cars, and there are tons of them, all rendered in stunning detail. Most of the rendering budget has been utilized on cars, but thanks to the power of Xbox Series X, environments too are shining with in-depth details. Accurate car, environmental, and material reflections are rendered on the car's body with great precision. Although these are baked-in reflections and not real-time, they still look great and are a step up from last-gen rendering techniques. However, the game offers ray tracing in the Forza Vista, where you can check out your collection of cars, up close and personal and in staggering detail. This is where the game's visuals are truly dialed up to the max, and viewing the cars in this mode is a sight to behold. The audio. Forza Horizon games, all Forza Horizon games in general in fact, always tend to be on the cutting edge of visuals with new entries. But at the same time, audio design is another area where the franchise has traditionally excelled. Forza Horizon 5 is obviously going to be no different. The open-world racer uses ray tracing in its audio design. While visual ray tracing is restricted to the game's vehicle viewing mode, Forza Vista, in terms of audio design, is much more crucial. Essentially, the developers are using ray tracing to make audio bounce off of objects in the environments much more realistically, including buildings, rocks, trees, and more. Distance and the nature of objects are constantly being detected, bringing about more authentic and varied audio design, so depending on where you're driving and how fast you're driving through those environments, you'll hear different sound effects. For instance, the sound of your car driving through a town might sound crisp and loud, but if you're driving through a heavily forested area, that sound will be much more muffled.
Just earned a skill point.
I'll swing back round and guide you through the bridge.
Conclusion. Much like its predecessor, Forza Horizon 5 has set a new benchmark for video game graphics. Thanks to its excellent use of audio ray tracing, global illumination, screen space effects, including parallax occlusion mapping along with an advanced physical-based rendering pipeline, we are excited to see how Playground Games develops on this tech in the future. For now, Forza Horizon 5 is a stunning example of what can be achieved when you have raw horsepower at your disposal. That's all for now. If you enjoy what you saw, please hit the like button. And if you're new to the channel, now is a great time to subscribe. We upload brand new videos every single day. After subscribing, don't forget to enable all notifications by clicking the bell icon. Thanks for watching this video, and we'll see you next time, right here on GamingBolt.